In general, some people may say it's the night before Christmas, but for fantasy managers, it's the night before. The beginning of a road of consistent, immeasurable disappointment, possibly, for the next 38 game weeks. But it is Christmas Eve for some. But here we are, the night before everything all changes. Everyone goes on their unique path. Blank canvas, 100 million starting budget, and all the different roads leading to potential glory from here on in. Without further ado, we're going to bring two enthusiasts who love their spreadsheets. One who's been exploding on Twitter during pre-season and is rocking a retro kit coming off a Cup Triumph high. And the other who's got such an exquisite studio wall about him, but delicious microphone of his own. The professionalism, the A-grade team, bring him in, Shebane. Here we are.
Yeah.
All to you. Good evening.
Good evening, Chaza. I'm looking forward to our stream. The deadline is approaching. Looking forward to getting into it with our lovely little community here. I see we've already got Miriam and Colm in the chat. Looking forward to our shenanigans. And of course, welcome Marcello, mate. How are you doing?
All good. Celebrating another trophy for Palace. Gosh,
what a time
stop
to
winning.
be alive. Yeah.
Am I dreaming?
Fair play, mate. Well done.
How was it at Wembley?
Yeah, great. You know, it was more of a chilled vibe this time, rather than the cup final where it was really anxious and like hoping, praying we'd win. It was like, oh, we're already losing. At least we're having a nice day out. Then it kind of slowed down, and then we got back into it. Penalties, and from the penalties, we got off to a good start. It never really felt like we were going to lose. It's just unbelievable, really.
Rev, did you take anything from the last weekend's action of pre-season in terms of how you're going to account for your thinking with about 24 hours to go, or not particularly?
There were a couple of little things in the Man City game which gave me a little bit of food for thought. The Rangers, am I saying his name correctly?
Reindeers,
yeah, baby reindeers. Yeah, he's certainly caught my eye. He scored a really good goal as well, where it was one of those like late runs into the box. So he's got my attention. The preseason game against with Liverpool against Palace, that cup which no one's mentioned yet. Virgil van Dijk concerned me. If I'm being honest, that I felt like that was a really poor performance, and so that's another thing that we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, apart from that, just not too much from preseason really that I've personally noticed or noted. But maybe Marcello, you might have some other thoughts to add.
Yeah, João Pedro as well. He can't stop scoring, can he? And it is only pre-season, but he's making me think about him, and he's snuck into my team now.
Ooh, okay.
And Spurs last night, like against PSG. Gosh, if the game ended with 8 minutes to go, I think we'd all have triple Spurs in our teams. But same old Spursy in the end.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Winning two trophies in a few months isn't for everyone. What can I say?
Yeah. Not everyone is as luxuriously well talented, but like Crystal Palace.
Speaking of talent, he thought he was going horse riding this evening, but he got bailed out. Hello there. Good evening.
Come on, boys.
What's Reidy doing? Are we getting the guns out? Is that what we're doing, lads? What we're doing?
No, it was just one gun, mate. My left arm's really skinny, so I didn't want to.
What, Reidy? Why is that? Why is your left arm skinny and your right arm really muscular? Do you want to tell us and the chat?
Don't know. DNA. I don't want to go into that right now. It's probably it's probably going to take a long while. And speaking of long while or long stories, we know Chaza doesn't like that. So. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Just wrap it up, Reidy. Come on. Yeah.
Short and sweet, boys. Right, it's been nice seeing you. I've enjoyed it. Catch
Yeah,
yous up
great
later.
podcast, everyone. Yeah, wrapped it up really well.
No,
done.
listen, Thursday night, pre-FPL deadline, pre-football being back, Premier League football.
Yeah.
How are you boys feeling?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. I'm not as nervous as I have been over the past 2 seasons, of doing the podcast. I feel like I'm letting the pressure just, water off a duck's back at the moment. Just enjoying the game, entering my boring era. And you're going to fall asleep yet again when you see my team.
But inside, boys, he's absolutely raging. He is screaming.
You know what though? For the first time in a while, guys, I am at peace.
Okay.
Just by being a total template wanker. So
just zen, ready for the chaos. But in your head, you're kind of like nice and
and I think feeling quite content that I've found a draft that is like not just like covering a lot of bases. It's got a lot of good price points as well, which lets me be a bit more adaptable. I've got one complaint about my draft though. One thing that is annoying me slightly is I don't have 0.5 in the bank anymore, which is something that I really wanted to do, but I can't justify it any other way, and I can't find 0.5. So maybe that's something you can help me with in a bit. But what about you, Reidy? How are you doing? You looking forward to going into the new season? How are you doing? How's your team doing?
I'm excited. I mean, Sunday. Obviously, I've got to say congratulations to Marcello. Another thing to celebrate, mate. Obviously, pre-season's always nice after you claim the FA Cup at the back end of last season. But yeah, well done, mate. I mean, listen, it's the Charity Shield. It's almost like the warm-up before the season. And I think,
it's the difference between whether or not you win it, isn't it? Like, if you win it, like, it really matters.
No,
if you don't win it, it's just a warm-up game.
Genuinely, I mean, Everton, I don't know the last time they played the Charity Shield, so I'm not sure. But
listen, mate, Everton legends beat Roma legends this last weekend, so...
Oh, have you got any Everton legends?
Yeah,
I
got a sticker in my record of achievements.
What I'm trying to say is that it's not that
special good boy badge.
It doesn't matter. It's a nice little smiley sticker and that. But
participation trophy.
Most improved. But we won't go there. But it's not because we lost. It isn't because we should have won that game. It's none of that. I mean, it is in a way a friendly, like when you're one of the teams, you're kind of like have won a lot of trophies. So for me, from my perspective, yes, great. If we'd have won it, all right, it's another trophy, as you would put it. But I'd rather, Palace win that and be like, it's something else to add to the kind of roster. And I'm sure Marcello's not going to disagree with me. So, you will take it exactly. And I think for us, it's kind of a lesson learned to go, all right, we've not been great. Don't usually win it. There you go. There's the jinx of it as well. Sorry, Marcello, just in case you didn't know, you're not going to win the league. But yeah.
No, I don't believe it. Palace are winning everything.
Yeah.
Past two available trophies, mate, they've won. So they've got a 100% record over the past 2, and that's just facts.
That is true. But yeah, it's almost a kind of game to look at and go, are you ready for the season? We're clearly not yet. But obviously we've got a game that comes up tomorrow, first game at home. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be honest, lads. I've gone no Salah. I've gone Salah. My head is going, over heart and stuff, like what do I pick? You look at all that money you can spend without Salah and Haaland, and you go in, oh, it's so nice. But then
you did this last season though as well, didn't you? If you remember correctly, you went without Salah and without Haaland for a short period of time. And I remember when you wildcarded, and we were like, whoa, what's he doing? And mate, the gains that you made doing that.
Well, I didn't make many gains, Mikey. I'll tell you why. It worked out okay for me because I had such good coverage. However, the key point is, I think, I want to say I started with Haaland. I think I took Haaland out, and he still banged. He had a great, start to the season. He got a hat-trick. I also took out Palmer when he got his 4, but let's not talk about that. it's just
I remember that. I lost sleep for you that night. Like,
it's horrible. It was horrible. I couldn't believe it. But what the point I'm trying to say is that is it better to be safe and kind of go? I'm just going to go with one of the highest owned players. It's Salah. You know, he returns. You have him as captain. You're in that same boat as everyone else. You don't have him. What's your plan B? What's your contingency? Can you free hit in, I don't know, 3 or 4, whatever it is, and have him? Those sort of things. So for me, I'm looking forward to it, lads, but am I ready for FPL yet? There's a bit more tinkering thing to do.
The time's ticking. You've only got 20 or so hours.
Yeah, 24 hours to go, which is a great segue to the opening game week fixtures, which we've got on the main screen here. And as our usual procedure, Marcello is the first time introductory to this. I know some channels love to go through every single game. We're not going to do that. Pick one game that could be the most FPL relevant or a game that you're just looking forward to the most. Reidy, I'm going to start off with you because I just reckon there's something about you. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know.
Watch me pick an absolute shocker of a game now. Thanks, Chaz. But yeah. Oh, God. I'm excited, man, with some of these matchups. I mean, I will pick out this game because I'm interested to see what this team are like now they've made new signings, especially from an attacking point of view. And the other team more so from a defensive point of view because they've not been great pre-season, although pre-season is what it is. And that's Man United Arsenal. Obviously, they've just signed, new striker, Sesko. Whether he'll start, we don't know yet. And Mbumo, Cunha. So I am looking forward to that. And as I say, Arsenal defensively have been a little bit sort of up and down pre-season. Gabriel's not played much of a part in it. But that game to start off the first weekend of the season is normally kind of like got history
Spicy.
to it. It's a bit of a cracker, and I'm hoping it lives up to that. I mean, Arsenal as well, new signings there. So that's the one for me, Chaza.
Love it. Rev, what about you?
I think one of the key things for me to keep an eye on is going to be the Aston Villa Newcastle game, because I think if we remember rightly, if we switch our minds back all the way to last season and the beginning of last season, I know that I had several drafts going into the season with triple Newcastle, and I've not seen a single draft from anyone with even a single Newcastle player.
It's outrageous, isn't it?
It is. It's crazy, isn't it? To think that
they've got bad fixtures, but
the
fixtures aren't as bad as Arsenal's, and they're a good team.
Never mind Isaac going on strike. I think
our
managers have gone on strike with picking Newcastle players.
Exactly. So that's going to be something to see, like in a post Isaac. Well, because like one of the things that I'm looking at or going to be looking at is like, is Barnes going to be given the number 9 role now, and are we going to get an out of position midfielder? Especially when Newcastle's fixtures turn, and is it game week 4 or 5 their fixtures turn? But that's going to be quite interesting. The next interesting thing to look at is going to be Aston Villa from that from an attacking perspective. I think Watkins is disgustingly underpriced at 9 million. He's done so well over the past 2 seasons. He's going to continue to do well again. And also just while we're here doing a segue into this, Morgan Rogers, who's a lot of people who have been wondering about, he was pictured leaving the training pit in Greg's.
Two sausage rolls, chicken bake, steak.
But
his leg, as for his injury, go on, Mikey. Sorry.
He was pictured leaving the training pitch as normal with the other players. So that's a really big boost for them. So it looks like Morgan Rogers is back on the menu for Aston Villa, which because he obviously had that little injury scare. It means that some people who were considering maybe going with Yuri Tielemans, I don't think that's a great option anymore. Like it was maybe 2 days ago when we weren't sure about Rogers, but now that he's been pictured back in training, I wouldn't bother with Tielemans. So yeah, it's one of those fixtures which I think is just going to be good from an interesting FPL perspective, because those are just players that I personally want to keep an eye on as well. In terms of out of position midfielders playing as a striker.
Love it. Yes. Top stuff. What a pick, Rev. Marcello, what about you?
Which game? The world champions against the champions of England. Am I allowed to say that? The two best teams in the league, Chelsea v Palace.
Hey, there we go.
Love it.
It's facts.
It is. Factual
We
facts.
can't argue with that at the minute, can we? We literally can't. So
I mean, a lot of teams have João Pedro. He's probably going to get, hopefully 60 or more at least. Palmer's going to be in teams. Sanchez, Cucurella. Chelsea, their defensive injury to Colwill. I didn't realize he's out for the majority of the whole season.
Yeah.
Are they going to be affected by that? Are they going to have Tosin come in? Who's going to play instead? Is that 4.5? So that's going to be interesting. And then obviously I think everyone's kind of like, oh, Palace aren't going to do well against Chelsea, but we love an away game. We love playing Chelsea, I think. And all our Palace assets, we've got bad fixtures. And, we showed on Sunday that Mateta, Sarr are in good form. They're all been training well. As I mentioned on the last pod, Munoz didn't do too well. Mitchell did well. We'll see who's going to be sold if Eze's going. Eze looked like his head was already in Tottenham. He's probably going to go to Liverpool. You see Slot shaking his hand in the tunnel. That was very cheeky. I can't see him not going, but as long as I think he wants the minutes as the World Cup comes. So do you think Liverpool would find a spot for Guehi? Would Konate have to go?
yeah, I mean, it's interesting, obviously, from us as a team and how it will look for the season, Marcello, but also FPL. I mean, obviously a 4.5, you go in if he starts for Liverpool. Is it too appealing? Yeah, is it too appealing to kind of turn down and stuff like that? You compare that to Van Dijk, who's 6, Frimpong, Kirkes, etc. So if he was to become, a regular and cement his place in that first team, I'm sure people wouldn't hesitate to kind of go for him. It does, it's not a Trent Alexander-Arnold pick, don't get me wrong, of past seasons, but, are people kind of then going to be put off because they're going, well, actually, if Isak comes along, right, as maybe expected as it looks, does that then stop you from getting a third Liverpool in attack? Because if you had, say, for example, Wirtz, Isak, maybe a Gakpo, or even if you could somehow squeeze Salah in with Isak and Wirtz, say, is that more of an appeal than go for someone like Guehi? It's a tricky one. It is a tough one, but obviously it looks like we're going for him. And it'd be a big loss for you guys, Marcello. I mean, I think it's a big hole to kind of fill that because him and LaCroix have kind of built up a great partnership, right, for you guys. So, yeah, we will see.
And are you feeling confident about Liverpool winning the league this year?
I don't know about confident. I mean, I think obviously there's been a lot of transfers, a lot of signings from the other teams, right? So you'd expect some gap to kind of like be closed a little bit this season. Confidence not the way. I think content. I'm still kind of like happy we won it last season, and I'm looking forward to this season. But I mean, I'm not quite got that confidence yet where I'm going, yeah, we're going to win it this season. I can't give you that. I'm afraid. But yeah, Chelsea Palace, great game to select. I mean, should be a crack at that one as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very tasty pick. In fairness, I got more confidence in taking a trip to Greg's when I see Reidy in person come tomorrow. But my actual pick, I had this in my mind, and I'm glad Marcello stole the thunder, only because a lot of managers are going different directions, and that is Chelsea v Crystal Palace. It's just with such intrigue too, and I am curious to see what percentage of managers also with Palace attack. Chelsea different directions. Same with Palace, despite their, let's just say it's not so easy fixtures as well. So that's my pick. Everyone's done their picks, and I think it might be time for the Reverend to take the majority of the cake. Marcello can swing in with some spreadsheets if he wants to from way downtown. And the bulk of the discussion is all yours. Start off with you, Rev, on what you'd like to discuss about DEFCON and some players that were 0.5 or more. Take it away.
Yeah, so I was looking into this, and I'm not sure I've seen many people talk about this. But when I look at defensive contributions per 90, one of the things that I want to remind everyone as we pick our teams is the second part of that stat is per 90. Okay, per 90. That means if a defender plays 70 minutes and then plays another 70 minutes and they're averaging 9 contributions per 90, that means that like if their minutes are under threat and they're going to come and get taken off at around 70 minutes, 80 minutes, it means they're much less likely to hit that threshold where they're going to get a defensive contribution bonus. And one of the players that I'm seeing a lot, it's rumored that Nottingham Forest are in the market for another wing back in terms of sorry, there's someone's car is driving past. In terms of Leif Davis as well. Marcello doing the minutes for the meeting there. Like it's one of them where I think Williams might be a little bit of a trap personally, because he might get taken off at around 70 minutes. I think if you're going to pick a player based on the defensive contributions, you've got to make sure that they're playing 90 minutes. You've got to make sure that they're playing 90 minutes, because it's defensive contributions per 90. But if they don't play 90 minutes, they'll never get it. Right, so you've just got to watch that. I know you're going to get the clean sheet points or whatever if you get them, if they're going to be a thing this season. I know they weren't a thing last season, but I just want to say that that's the reason why I think like someone like Milenkovic or Murillo is worth that 0.5 more over Williams, because your centre backs are much more likely to be playing the whole 90 minutes. That's what. That's kind of what I wanted to bring up. I'm not sure if anyone agrees or disagrees.
Yeah,
I'm seeing Williams in a lot of drafts, and it makes me go, with 5 substitutions, with more wing backs on the horizon coming in. Yeah, I don't know what you think.
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. Don't get caught up by those per 90 stats.
Sorry, Marcello, what are you saying?
Mikey, you're better than that. You are better than that, Mikey. God, sorry.
You only rip into the people that you love. Come on.
Yeah. Right. Now he's finished being immature, Marcello, you were saying.
I'm not finished being immature, by the way.
I was saying that's actually totally rubbish. It doesn't matter. What a terrible idea. No. Definitely look at that. All my my spreadsheets I've put up have been it's the C bits that they actually earned. So if they came off of 70 and they only got 9 defensive contributions, you haven't been looking at those. So, and also C-bit points per start. So divided by the pure start, not by the 90 minutes, is definitely something important to look at, because you're right. If they're not getting 90, it's not going to count. So you've got to think about that when you see all this data. And like, all this data is good, but you've got to always think about, how does this apply? Will they get 90? Did they get 90 last year? Will they continue to get 90 this year? So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's a good point in my opinion. I think that it's easy for people to kind of overlook that. I mean, the thing that I think people are trying to mentally sort of I don't know what's the word, like mentally kind of overcome is, all right, well, we're not going for fullbacks, we're not going for attacking, sort of potential attacking returns, something that's been almost like ingrained into us, over the years, and now it's like, oh, well, I'm going to pick a load of centre backs, and it kind of looks disgusting. It does, but I still think that's exactly the point you're making there, Mikey, is that you have got to take these things into consideration. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of regretting who you kind of pick, and it is going to force like an early wild card, things like that. So I will say this phrase, and it is that minutes matter. minutes matter. I haven't took that from anywhere, by the way. I just made that up on the spot. But yeah, minutes do matter when it comes to FPL, and you know, in turn, hopefully that means points. But yeah, great point, Rev, as I say.
Especially at the start of the season, like there's so many players who are locked on for 90 minutes. Just pick them for the start, and then if you want to figure out who's actually getting 60, who's getting 45, who's not starting, you can always move to them later on. But for your first team that you're picking in the next 20 hours, go for those locked people. There's so many players. There's no need to take risks.
Yeah.
Nailed players. I think this is a really good debate that Rev brought up on our agenda during the week. We want to talk about sort of premiums. Which premiums are worth owning from the start? Because Salah and Palmer seem to have dominated the conversation as of recently, but there's also Erling Haaland, who's only on just over 22% ownership. How much merit has Haaland or someone as expensive as he is come into your thinking?
I mean, all of us generally, or just like, I'll be honest, I don't think he's come into my thinking a whole lot, you know, during making drafts and things like that. I mean, there has been a few drafts where I have put Haaland in, but it hasn't lasted very long. And I think that is a reflection of where maybe we're at this season, is that we kind of probably would have seen him to be a little bit cheaper. You know, he does look like to be on that expensive side, and that Salah's kind of been justified to kind of be given that big sort of price jump that really probably should have happened sooner in FPL. Let's be honest. And there is that whole he's a midfielder, Haaland's a forward, and the points kind of have favoured midfielders, and now they will even more so this year. So yeah, that 14 million, is it worth it? For me, probably not. However, City's fixtures may tell a different story after the first 6. That's my opinion.
City's fixtures are creamy, aren't they, man? They're just very, very good. I think in terms of like the premiums discussion, you know, we do have Fernandes over this past week having increasing popularity. I'm not sure if we can call a 9 million midfielder a premium, but he's on the top shelf at least, isn't he? But I don't know. One of the things that like I keep thinking about is like if Isak does join Liverpool, and then we go to like game week 3 and thinking how are we going to get him in, I think for me Cole Palmer is probably first on the chopping block for me, for reasons that over the past, like, what is it, in the past 13 games or something, he got 4 attacking returns off the back end of last season. I do think he's only in my team just because I'm scared of his ownership. And, you know, he lets me hop off him into a different, you know, onto a different player. We got some cool people in the chat, by the way. Just want to shout them out. We've got obviously the big man FPL fella in the chat. Hello. We've got Hisham as well. He said he's just subscribed. Thank you very much. Regina Wilson. Hello. Welcome to the pod. It is a head melt, you know. This is FPL, isn't it? A proper head melt. FPL discomfort. Speaking of premiums, while we're talking of premiums, he says Salah won't be in the top 5 scorers this year. Bookmark this. He likes a bold statement. Mr. Discomfort.
Yeah.
I think he could say that because he's at AFCON this year as well. So
it's true.
He won't be going for those records because he won't be playing some of the games.
That's facts.
Last year, you know, I think he was really trying to get those records nailed, like right from the off. Have you guys seen the video of Haaland finding out he's cheaper priced than Salah? They keep asking all the players about FPL, and Haaland's like, "How much am I? 40? Am I the most expensive?" No, Salah's 40.5, and then he's like, "Oh,
wow."
He's smashed it, but he's not quite got to the levels that Salah's kind of managed to accomplish. But you know, it's nice to see that he's got big ambitions, hasn't he, to kind of get to that top bracket. But just on the Cole Palmer discussion, just to touch upon that, is that I feel like more people would potentially want to go Saka. I don't think Saka's being talked about enough, considering that they have two decent-ish. Well, obviously the second one against Leeds, he's a captain shout, right? And I think because of that sort of situation, that the ownership of Palmer, Saka's maybe been not overlooked, maybe is not the right word, but just kind of forgotten about a bit and gone, well, actually, we're going to go Palmer. His ownership's right up there. If he does something against Palace first game, similar to Salah, but maybe you're not going to captain, obviously, Palmer. And if you can somehow get all three in, then great. But it's very, very tricky. As you said at the beginning, Mikey, it's that 0.5 sometimes. You're going, I'm 0.5 short. And you're having to compromise in midfield. We've seen, well, I've certainly seen on X lately, there's another player who's emerged as a popular pick in FPL. And that is a certain Kieran. Is his first name Kieran? You're going to have to correct me on this. Dewsbury Hall. That's certainly the one.
KDH.
KDH, 5 million, looking like he may play that number 10 role. And, Reinders is another one for City at 5.5. And people are going, okay, well, I'll have two 5 and a bit, midfielders, and then I'll be able to get the other 3 in, the other premiums, if you like. So it's tricky because you have to compromise no matter what somewhere. And I'll be interested to see if any of you boys actually have all 3. I'd be very surprised if you did.
Well, Marcello has been on a good discovery mode, actually, probably since June. And he's been skyrocketing everywhere with big ambitions. So I thought share his project, but based on his permission. It's very interesting you're going through, Marcello. Talk us through it briefly.
Yeah, so this is my big FPL spreadsheet. I've got so many different tabs on FDR. You can see first 5 games, Sunderland, Chelsea, West Ham at the top, Arsenal at the bottom. So that could be putting people off with these harder games. And I've built this all myself, so you can really filter like game week 1 to 6 or a custom game week here 1 to 12 when I'm going to wildcard in game week 13. You can see like Chelsea are right at the top there. So I'm on a 12-week run. If I really want to set a player in for 12 weeks, that's why I'd go Chelsea, triple Chelsea, unless Man City, Liverpool, that Palace, I'm more avoiding those teams. So this kind of helps me with my planning. And this is one of my favorite tabs. We're talking about premiums, like which players scored the most points last year and how much are they this year and what's their value. And I've also added in the CBIT DEFCON points. So you can see really easily the best DEFCON players. Tarkowski would have scored 44 CBIT points. And remember, these 44 points from literally kicking the ball away, tackling and everything, this is equal to your centre-back getting 13 assists. 44 divided by 3, you've got 13 assists. If you've got your centre-back getting 13 assists, they'd be right in your team. So you've got to... And it's not just one player getting that many. You've got Caicedo. You're talking about 90-minute men. He's locked for 90 minutes. You've got Murillo, Anderson. I think this is a problem here. You need to kind of filter out the ones that are under 100. And Lacroix sticks out. Collins for Brentford is getting very overlooked with his 32. Not much has changed in the Brentford defence. If anything, he's going to be clearing it a lot more now that they've got rid of their forwards. Brantford obviously is injured. That kind of affects Tarkowski as well. But he was injured for most of last year as well. And he still got 32 CBIT points, which is 16 games. He got the thing. Gravenberch. And you can see Milenkovic here, 26. He already had a really high points total. Add that to there, he goes up to 171 points. And if you sort by the total points, you see obviously Salah had an incredible season. Mbeumo, Palmer, Isak. People aren't talking about Mbeumo. People aren't talking about Cunha. Just because, they've all gone to Man United now. But I think Man United are very interesting. Bruno, he's got quite a lot of CBIT. Plus, he's going to be on pens still, we think. Plus, he's going to be assisting. He's not going to be assisting Garnacho. He's going to be missing it, putting it wide with every shot. He's going to be assisting Mbeumo, Cunha. They signed Sesko. I think Fernandes is a really good pick, even though this Man United fixtures, it's not great. There are some good games there. You can captain Bruno here and there. But even with that, I think Bruno does well against the good teams. Whereas Palmer, I feel like he kind of always does well against the weaker teams. Bruno, I think, always pops up. So yeah, you can also see points per game here. So you can see if they perform the same as last year, how many points would all of these players get per game? And then you kind of have to apply your own biases. Like, yes, Mbeumo's not going to be on penalties. Isaac might miss a few games. Bowen's no longer a midfielder, so he's not going to get any clean sheet points, and things like that. So this kind of really helps me think about which players to go for, and you can filter this for defenders. And I'm thinking, which defenders would I want to pick? Well, these are the ones who got their biggest points. You've got your 5.5s. You can then filter for the costs and say, well, which 4.5 defenders will I want to get? And then that will help you pick these. And then obviously you've got some players who didn't score that many. So I would filter out these for greater than or equal to 50. And then that will show me my 4.5 defenders who scored quite a lot of points, how many C-bits they got. And then that will help me choose, I've got a 4.5 slot. Who did well last year? Who do I think will perform the same? Richards, maybe. Gahey if he stays at Palace. Konza at Villa. I don't think much is going to change there. Van Heck at Brighton. Dalot. And then obviously this doesn't have any data for any new players, like Diouf won't be on here. I've seen him in quite a few Twitter drafts. You've got Dorgu for Man U, but they're kind of a bit risky. So in my opinion, I like to go by what we already know. Don't go with the risky picks who you don't know how they're going to play. Yeah, Diouf looks amazing, but he might not be able to hack it in the Prem. So just go with some of these nailed picks. And this spreadsheet really helps me with that.
Happy days, Marcello. I mean, firstly, I don't think it's very fair that you've got this to your disposal. So it means that you're basically going to beat all three of us. And secondly, if that's the case, how much do you want for me to get a version of this myself, mate?
It's not for sale, sorry, but I'll help you out. If you've got any questions that you want to do it on stream, let me know, and we can look together, because there's still a lot of decisions to be made. Even if you had all the information in the world, it doesn't mean you're going to get it right. It kind of is like it's a game of football, but it's a kind of a game of statistics. I actually did maths at uni, and this is like numbers. It's a numbers game, and you pick something that is likely to happen. It might not happen, but the likeliest thing is that history will repeat itself. So add your own kind of news sources, what's changed in each team, and use it as a guide. But this isn't going to tell you how to win FPL by any means.
But it is as you say, it's number crunching, and it is probabilities, right? And I think that reliable data that we've seen time and time again, that kind of repeats itself, history repeats itself, and the numbers are kind of there, they don't lie. Really impressive, Marcello. I think it's a great little tool for you to be ready for the new season, mate. And I know you used obviously some of this sort of stuff for last season, but now with this new dynamic in the game, the DEFCON, CB, all that business, mate, I think that's perfect for you.
Yeah, and the reason I made it is because, I took a break on FPL the year before, and, I used to play it when I was at uni and like here and there, but I never really took it seriously. But last year we had a work league set up, and I was like, I don't know any of these players. I didn't even know anything about Isaac. I didn't know Haaland was the best player in the world. And Salah, yeah, he's been doing all right. But honestly, I never even heard of these like new players, because like I said in the last podcast, I was kind of like more obsessing over Pokemon. I was doing my skating a lot. Football kind of went to the back burner for me. And
bro, you skate? What? Whoa, wait, you skateboard as well?
Not skateboard, roller skates.
Oh,
so I was out.
Never mind then.
While the games were all playing, I wasn't watching Palace. I wasn't watching the Premier League. I was more like out on my skates, especially during lockdown. I started that. So I had no idea about all these players. So I started with like, let me do one pool, and then I made another tab, and then I made another tab on the FDR, and I learned about the fixtures, and then I made one that tells me like transfer suggestions, who I can do, and I made a team sheet. Because there's all these other websites that you can sign up to and pay to do it as well. But I was like, I don't want to pay to someone and sign up. I kind of just want to do it myself and see where that can get me. And yeah, it really interests me. It's kind of like what I do for work, and obviously it really helped me last year. And I feel like I know a bit more about how FPL works, when to use the chips and stuff. So hopefully we can take it a bit further this year than we did last year. I think I did, was it 38k last year in the end? So I was really delighted. I was hoping to get an average 65 points per game, and I just about beat that last year, and I'll be aiming for about the same again, because it is hard.
What a time for you to kind of pick it back up, the football
exactly, with Palace winning in the cup.
Well, that's it from an FPL point of view, and also as a, from a football fan point of view, because your team have got some success, and stuff like that, mate. So,
and I'm sure that probably helped me get back into football with like Elise being amazing for Palace and.
Certainly, listen, no one wants to support their club and see them lose week in, week out.
And that affects you.
Just ask Mikey about that. He knows all about it. And he'll tell you, he'll spend loads of hours. If you want to go round for a cup of tea, he'll you can comfort him, and yeah. Sorry, mate. I know we're only second one in. Listen, I'm all jokes aside. Yeah, new stadium. New players. Hey,
it's exciting
Mikey.
For Everton.
It's exciting, mate. Yeah, exactly. I can't tell if he's froze.
I'm just dead inside. Mate, you can't hurt me more than Everton already have. So.
No. Yeah, I mean, listen, as I say, positive things for you, Mikey. You've got new signings to talk about. Jack Grealish. Let's have a little sing and dance about that, right? I mean, what's your thoughts on the signing? I know it's only a loan deal, but something good, right? Surely.
I'm just having to tell myself, don't fall in love with a lone player. Don't fall in love with a lone player. Don't fall in love with a lone player, because he's like, I reckon he's the exact type of player that Everton fans are going to love. High intensity. Big thing. Like loves to just run at players.
Yeah.
He's not going to have those pep shackles on him, telling him to shag the touchline anymore.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a bit of freedom. Really looking forward to seeing him in an Everton shirt, and I think it's just fantastic business as well. Like there's very little risk with a loan move, and we do have the option to get him on a permanent as well at the end of the move, apparently. So yeah, looking forward to it. I hope he proves everyone wrong.
I mean, three new attacking players, or is it four? Is there another one I've missed? You've got Dewsbury Hall, you've got Grealish, you've got Barry. I think that's it, isn't it? Up to now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you kind of want to see as a club, is that you're making signings, and hopefully that helps you moving forward in the league and so on. I mean, obviously there's been the news of Branthwaite getting this hamstring injury, which is going to definitely make you guys a little bit more vulnerable at the back. But is that something where you feel you guys need to strengthen a little bit before the season starts? Well, not before it starts, because it's too late this year. God damn it! But at some point before the window shuts, is there something where you feel you could get someone else in
for Everton?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy with our business. I still think we need another right back desperately. To be honest. We got Seamus Coleman and Patterson. at the moment. Patterson is neither here nor there, and Seamus Coleman is, bless him, an incredible servant for the club, but he's definitely he's pushing retirement now. He's still great whenever he comes on for us, but he gets injured every other game. His legs are going, and so it's one of them. We do need a right back, I think, and that'd be great.
Obviously, Braithwaite is injured. Is that a long-term one as well? And Mikolenko as well? Has he picked up something, or is he going to be okay?
I thought Mikolenko was going to be okay. Let me just go on for Braithwaite injury.
Super. Interesting.
And does that mean Michael Keane will come in for 4.5 as well next to Tarkovsky, maybe? Or who? Is there someone else?
So Braithwaite apparently got injured in training.
Oh, gosh.
Which is not good for us. Pretty rubbish. And then Mikolenko has a groin injury, which threatens to sideline him for a couple of games. This affects Tarkowski.
Definitely.
Is what I'm thinking. It affects our clean sheet potential for sure.
I think I remember last year Braithwaite was injured and you guys really don't do as well when he's not in the team. And Mikolenko was injured for a bit as well. Yeah, it's a bit worrying. Tarkovsky was in my team, but hearing about that injury, I've taken him out, and I think others are thinking the same.
Well, speaking about teams, just under 24 hours out until our consistent run of disappointment officially begins. I think it will be time to preview our sides for the opening, the first many in 38 game weeks. Rev, I'm going to start with you because you've had yours on standby. It's like a show and tell class in primary school where you want to be the first person putting your hand up to ask a question. So take it away with your revolution.
Yeah, so obviously there are a few changes. We've gone from the really boring 4-4-2 to a little bit more structure. I've gone from Van Dijk to Anderson. I think one of the things that really has done that is actually Liverpool's fixtures for the first three, at least. I think if you're going to be spending 6 million on a defender, you're going to want a really huge amount of clean sheet potential, and that Newcastle and that Arsenal game do put me off slightly. Also, Liverpool looked like they had a mistake or two in them. We won't talk too much about that Community Shield, but I was quite concerned by the performance of the Liverpool defence, if I'm being honest. It was a little bit not shambolic, but just lethargic.
Wasn't solid, was it? 2-0 up, you expect better.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was like cruising, just have to walk it home at that point, and it just like almost like gifted Palace far too much space. But yeah,
just on that, do you think that could be? I think Gravenbach missed out because he had a baby, and he's going to miss the first game due to the red card or the 2 yellows. And McAllister coming back from injury. In his press conferences, Slot was kind of using that as an excuse this morning. Do you think those two are the reason, or is it more to do with there's new players in the defence who are getting to know each other?
I personally think it could be a mixture of that, but also it's that triangle. It's now inverted. So they're using verts as a 10 now, whereas that extra player would have been sitting in front of the back four. So that again affects their clean sheet potential, moving from a number 6, a traditional number 6, to a number 10. And so that does affect them, I think. And from what I saw, I'm not quite ready to go all in on Liverpool clean sheets.
Not with those fixtures anyway.
Yeah, not with those fixtures, exactly. Yeah. And as you demonstrated very well, by the way, very impressive stuff from your spreadsheets. Liverpool do not have a great fixture run for the first 12, considering. So yeah, that's why we've gone with Anderson. I think that allows me to, with this, I've got 2 4.5 defender. I've got Dorgu there. He could change, but I quite like the idea of going with someone quite cheeky. But anyway, I was shaking my head about Bruno Fernandes last week, but then the excitement over Bruno Fernandes has kind of ramped up, and I'm kind of happy to say maybe I was wrong about him for sure. Time will obviously tell, but I think I was watching a podcast with FPL Raptor on it, and he made a great point, which was around 70 minutes, someone's going to get subbed off, and it's not going to be Bruno, at which point Bruno might well go up top. So at that point, across those 70 minutes, he might have already racked up enough defensive contribution points and then go and get like an 80th minute goal, which I'd never thought about it that way. And so, credit to the FPL therapy crew for an excellent perspective on that. So I'm kind of buying into the Bruno Fernandes propaganda. Palmer, I've already talked about. I'm not convinced by. It's simply his ownership that scares me, as well as João Pedro. Again, not convinced. And Dai is still in my team, despite the additional option of Jack Grealish. I just think Dai is fit. He plays, and he's great for us. And I want an Everton attacker because I love Everton, and I want to, watch my team and celebrate, in that way. And then Baby Reindeers is the new addition to the team. He's in now over Anderson. I do like Anderson's set pieces. I do like that, but Forest haven't really impressed in an attacking sense in pre-season, whereas Baby Reindeer is like stalking the goal. So yeah, he's been doing pretty good. And then the Dubravka, Mark View, and Esteve, all basically in everyone's drafts. And then another 4.5 that could change. But this is the boring era, boys. I've got price points pretty much all over the gaff. 6.59, 10.5 premium, a 9 million, a 7.5, some 2 5.5s. Marcello, I've talked about why I think he's worth more than Williams, and why Williams is probably slightly risky. And then Anderson as well. So yeah, that's just the draft. It's boring as it's quite template, but I think it'll get me a solid way through the first few game weeks without having to make any changes.
I love it.
Love it. It's really good.
Template for a reason. They're all really good. Very strong. Mine's quite similar. On your bench, I thought about this. Dubravka, Mark Gui, Esteve, all their ownerships are quite high. Are you worried about them dropping off points and losing points? Would you be tempted to go for a differential at those price points? Or are you happy to just leave them in?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them where at the start of the season, you don't have the team value yet, do we? And, towards the end of the season, we get like an extra, 3 to 5 million, depending on how good you are, to invest again into someone else. And I think for me, it's just like Esteve, yeah, he plays. Gui, there's potential that he plays. And then so yeah. I mean, Dubravka, he has to play, right? Like he's got that Prem experience. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. And so yeah, it's one of them where they're just the cheap options that are enabling.
Yeah, I think Dubravka's injury tag got removed today, so he should be fine to play, and Esteve should be a lock. Mark Gui, I think he was in training, but he does worry me about a potential price drop, and he is very highly owned. He's the only one that I've obviously thought about, and
yeah.
Shall I say?
Yeah, his mine very, very similar structure. Palmer, Bruno, Salah, João Pedro, Watkins, Nottingham Forest defender, all kind of similar to you. Keeper, I feel like you've either got to go Sells or Sanchez. I've gone Cucurella, who likes going going in the opponent's box. And Romero, he got his goal. He's the captain now. You know, he's got a new manager. He's like gonna want to show to his manager why he's the main thing. Tottenham fixtures are really good. Obviously, last season they barely kept any clean sheets. I think surely that's going to improve this year with Paulinho coming in, with a new manager. I mean, Thomas the Frank Engine. I wouldn't say that he. I wouldn't say that he likes it at Bradford. He kept the most clean sheets, but I think they'll keep more clean sheets than under Angie.
Yeah.
And yeah, similar bench. Again, I went for Krupi Jr. He's not going to start. He might get a few minutes off the bench, but his ownership's so low, I just don't want him to lose value. So that's why I've gone for him. And I've gone for Saar because he's a bit of a defensive contribution monster. I don't know if you guys saw the stats on yesterday's game. He hit his DEFCON points in like 60 minutes or so. I think he ended up on 16, which was clear. He's playing more attacking with the injury to, is it Madison? The only thing is if they get Eze, then he might see some rotation. So that's a bit worrying, but he's a 5. Other 5 mids are Kieran Dewsbury Hall, who's on set pieces for you guys. And there's maybe Xhaka for Sunderland, but I don't really want to go there. So at the minute, I've got Saar. Alternatively, I could sell Bruno to Rodgers and go 7 millions with Semenyo as well. So that's going to be a last-minute decision, I think. So Bruno and Saar, or Rodgers and Semenyo, what do you guys think? I just love what you said about Bruno. It's true. I mean, Raptor's a Man United fan, isn't he?
It's what Raptor said. Yeah, I can't take credit for it.
It's true, though.
But I think also, like, your spreadsheet says that, like, he mucks in with defensive contributions as well.
Yeah, he does. He's got it all.
And I think FPL Harry made another really good point. Is like, it's like, even if it's Bruno Fernandes playing deeper, it's still Bruno Fernandes. It's not Caicedo. It's not like, you know, these more traditional defensive midfielders. Like, it's more like a deep line playmaker. Like, he's still going to be taking set pieces. He's still going to be making assists. He's still going to be, like, as Bruno does every season, chime in with the odd screamer. So I think I've got to start with Bruno.
Me too. I just can't go without him. Fixtures aren't the best. There's a few tricky ones, but he does do well in hard games. You can captain him v Burnley and Sunderland.
Quack, quack. Yeah, sorry, there's Robert Duffy. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Yeah, the main man.
I'm with you on that.
Real. Top stuff, Marcello. What a team. Honestly, beautiful triangular Christmas tree upside down formation about it. And I love how the Blues players are just all diagonally in line.
Aesthetic.
Exactly. That's what we're here for.
Expected aesthetics.
Yeah.
Oh, through the roof.
Through the roof. We'll see if this guy, who I'm about to put his team up, see if his season goes through the roof. Because it was going through the roof last season until we lost a certain someone in the head-to-head league by 1 point. He's out for redemption this season. That is Reidy. Take it away.
Yeah, boys, I don't know if my internet signal's dying or whatnot. Can you hear me all right? Is that?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We're good. All right. Well, I think a couple of things have changed since last week. I think that's mainly I've got Dewsbury Hall in now. Wan-Bissaka's another one, but it's that same thing of that bench is pretty strong and there's a lot of money in there. The Gibbs White thing over the Bruno Fernandes for me is I'm thinking that Forest, I really like their fixtures at the beginning of the season. And also I am still thinking of that bench boost for game week 2. Hence the reason for the Bournemouth players being there on the bench. I also do think that Evan Nielsen generally with Bournemouth fixtures is great. A good solid pick.
He's just a good pick in general.
He's just a good pick.
If it wasn't for that Liverpool fixture, he'd be in everyone's team, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah. So I get that there could be some points on the bench, but at the moment, I mean, Gibbs White could be Kudus. I could, yet again, I could upgrade Dewsbury Hall. There's a few different things I could kind of do, but I do like it at the minute. There's no Spurs in there, which I know, Marcello, you're not a fan of, because I know that first game you're kind of licking your lips at. But yeah, I kind of can't get away from this team that I've got at the minute. The only thing that I would do in terms of changing, obviously you've just had a big conversation there about Bruno Fernandes. If I was to change something, and that be, I could change, Gibbs White, as I was saying. I could bring in Bruno Fernandes, and obviously I can downgrade Evan Nielsen to a 5-5 or even a 4-5, and kind of have 1 million in the bank. I just don't know. If I was to do that, here's a question for you. I was speaking about the Saka situation. Now, I think United played Burnley at some point. Is it game week 3? 3. There we go.
Yeah.
So obviously Fernandes could be a move to Saka in 2. However, you'd want him back for 3. So it's too much hokey cokey, right, at the very beginning of the season, when I'm sure transfers are pretty precious and you'd want to roll ideally in game week 2. Is that a case where you just go, okay, you start with Fernandes, keep him until 3 or a bit longer, or actually start with Saka? Because let's be honest, lads, you can't start with both, can you?
Mate, I love that. I love that. I love starting with Saka and then moving to Bruno game week 3.
Start with Saka, move to Bruno. Ooh. So is that a better option than currently what basically I had, which was Gibbs White and Evan Nielsen, and get rid of that bench boost? I feel set on the bench boost going early, but Marcello, when do you think the best time to use the bench boost
Marcello
is?
thinks you're lazy.
I
agree.
I don't want you to...
Marcello's like, yeah, you're wasted. Yeah, go on.
I thought of start with Bowen, game week 1 and transfer him out. I just think I don't want to book any transfers. What if Reinders isn't even in the squad and you want to get him out? Like, what if João Pedro only gets a second half appearance? You never know what's going to happen. Yeah, Saka's nice, but you could captain Palmer game week 2 instead of Saka. If you're going to captain Saka, I'd rather just pick one, I think, and not plan any transfers if it was me. So one of the others for me. And I do like the Evan Nielsen on the bench. They've got great fixtures. Just click on Evan Nielsen's fixtures after game week. Wolves, that's going to be tasty. Then you got Spurs, who you never know. And then Brighton, Newcastle. Is that Leeds?
Yeah, Leeds,
Fulham Palace.
Fulham Palace. You've got Liverpool on the bench, and then it's a nice little run there. And you're going to not have Evan Nielsen there, and you've still got Gibbs White, who's got good fixtures too. Gibbs White, I'd probably move to Rodgers if it was me. I just love Rodgers. But if you think Gibbs White is the one and Forest can start scoring.
What's his ownership? I mean, you do realise Forest have just signed McAtee from City as well, I believe.
I just heard that. That's
Hutchinson,
making me doubt Roger Anderson.
Yeah, Hutchinson as well from Ipswich.
For Forest, really? Well, but these teams need to beef it up for Europe. They need to have options.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But if you look at Gibbs White, look at his ownership, 5.3. I think he finished not far behind. I'm probably going to be wrong now, but not that far behind considering than Bruno Fernandes in terms of points. Fernandes 5th in total.
Fernandes 174, Gibbs White 154.
20
Gibbs White had 2 C-bits, so 156. Bruno goes up to 196 with his 22 C-bit.
There we go.
And Bruno's going to be 90 minutes. I just love Bruno. It's just you know what you're getting.
Yeah. I mean, what would you do though? Like Mikey was saying, start with Saka, move to Bruno, right?
If you were going to do that, then I think that's just pretty tasty. It's a very Reidy thing to do, is what I would say.
Start with Saka, move to Bruno?
Yeah. It's very you coded. Like I think you've done quite a few really good and successful hokey cokies.
I mean, then you've got Saka v Man U, is it? So is that at home or is that at Man U?
It's away.
Yeah,
it's away.
it's
But I
at
don't
Old
think that
Trafford,
matters too much, right?
Still
I
Saka.
don't think it matters as much. Yeah.
I think Man U are going to be incredible this year. How could they not?
Really?
Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, Bruno, Ahmad. Oh,
2 words, mate.
So-
Ruben Amorim. That's how they could not be. Yeah.
It's a lot of
Insistent
pressure though
on
for the players,
a
though,
weird
Marcello. It's a
4-3-1-3.
lot of pressure.
yeah. And again,
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
have Europe as well. So
Oh, there goes
Yeah.
Reidy's
Paul
internet.
Scholes
Anyway.
made it interesting.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's back.
Scholes made it. Am I back? Back in the room?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Skulls.
Yeah. Scholes made an interesting point that basically Hoyland come in really young. You know, he's only 22 or whatever. The pressure's got to him. You know, similar situation with Sesko, the new signing. Very young player. He's going to realise pretty quickly, you know, about that pressure and the expectation, and you know, he's going to have to deliver and things like that. So, yeah, although I am intrigued to see what Man United are like with these new attackers, I think at times it's going to look brilliant, but I think other times when it goes wrong, is Cunha going to lose his head? You know, and Mbeumo, is he going to...
Did you see this comment in the
It's just a
chat?
comment in the chat that is absolutely golden. It's
What's
the
it
best
got?
comment I've ever seen. Tenzin Kalsang. Let me just read this. Right.
Go on.
Guys, my ex cheated on me with my best friend, and somehow I still hate Garnacho and Scam Show more. At least my ex was still active in real life, not just on socials.
Who is Scamcho?
That is comment. Like, how are we in pre-season, and that's comment of the year. Comment of the year already.
Who the hell is Scamcho?
Sancho.
Sancho, but like he scammed Man United. Come on,
These
come on,
Man
mate.
United fans have been going through it.
So,
man.
yeah. So basically,
Don't
what he's saying
worry,
is-
your season will be better this
We
year.
see you,
yeah.
Tenzin. We see you, mate.
what that tells me already is there's no belief. There's still no belief.
Sorry.
Wow, that's really that escalated quickly, didn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
well,
Anyway,
well,
that's my draft. It'll probably
yeah.
change by tomorrow. I'm still
Awesome.
unsure. Come back next week.
Oh, mate, it will probably happen during tomorrow's breakfast, whether it's at Greg's or somewhere else. Time will tell, but unreal stuff right there. Okay. I promise it won't be too long because there's still a segment to go. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for the comments. It's actually been fantastic this evening. I think hopefully they're all still laughing at the comment, not me actually still being here. But, yeah, that was a cracker from Tanzania.
From Tenzin, yeah.
Yeah.
From Tenzin,
Going
legend.
proper goal of the year. Not sure if this will be the team of the year come Gameweek 38, but this is ours at the moment. So we'll start with the Simpsons between the posts. The Dua Lipa Rillo in the middle with the Minos and then the VDV. I'm going cold ×2 up in the middle. Christmas has come early for some down at Cityland. And then the Arrow, the guy who likes to do a signing video on the beach. And then this guy, I reckon he'll just do another number on Newcastle. And then there's just a bench to fill the gap. So there you go. That's what we landed on. Cheers, Ta.
I love it. How
I've not seen a 3-4-3 for a while. Yeah, it's because he's got a 4.5 goalkeeper.
Oh yes,
and he's got a 5 mil mid in
that's
Dewsbury
all right.
Hall.
I've got 5
Yeah.
mil mid. Oh.
Yeah. No, he's chopping and cutting the fat in all the right places.
2
I
4
think.
5s.
I think the 3-4-3 structure is just interesting to talk about in a structure kind of sense anyway, because for me, one of the things that I've kind of had to come to terms with is that apart from Watkins, I don't really like any forwards. And so now what, Chaza, you've kind of locked yourself into is in game week 2 when Bowen's fixtures are not as great as Sunderland. You've now got him in your team. If Yao Pedro is an issue as well, like you're going to have to make multiple transfers to move down to players like Strand Larson or whatever. Like, I think there's a reason why most FPL managers seem to be set on the 3-5-2. It's because midfielders are so good this year, and defensive contribution points are like all the rage at the moment. That said, I think you're going to have an excellent game week 1. I do think going forward that structure might become a little bit of an issue.
I don't know. I quite like it actually. I do like some of the strikers, and they're going to get less points from like scoring penalties, but some of the 7.5s that you can drop to from Bowen, you got Wood, who might.
I like Mateta.
Mateta's in form. You can go to him
from game week 4 onwards, though.
Solanke has got great fixtures. Do you think he'll be all right? Like, there's options there, and I just like
not with his injury record. He came on to take a penalty, didn't he? And that was that.
Wissa, if he signs for anyone, is he going Newcastle?
Thiago, not proven.
Thiago's a bit lower, yeah. And then Evan Nilsson at 7 you could drop to as well.
Tieno Barry or Beto, we don't know who's going to start from them.
And then Strand Larson at 6.5 if you have to. I quite like Bowen as a game week 1 pick, but
yeah.
Or you could find an extra half to go up to Ekitike.
It's a good shout, yeah.
Well, maybe
I really like this structure. And then Reinders, do you think Reinders? Have we talked about Reinders today? How do you feel about him?
He might go like
Way, I like that. Yeah, sweet.
Shut up, you wind-up merchant.
No, that was good family fun. It's about time we had like a PG rated joke. Like
Regina says, Christ on I thought I had my team after this and looking at your teams, I'm back for starters. I think we've all got really strong teams.
Yeah,
I think so. I agree. I think this is maybe the strongest we've been going into a season as a collective. I'm looking at our teams thinking they are pretty damn good and pretty damn solid. Even Reidy, who's a bit of a rogue, I think he's got a really cool,
really good,
solid strategy. Reidy likes to go different. Like, he's got those Bournemouth players on the bench. He might not have the best game week 1, but he's going to have a better game week 2 to 7 than all.
Oh, yeah. I love that play.
So I think that's solid.
Good job, guys.
Reidy said his internet is dodgy like his FPL team. I don't know. I think our FPL teams are really good.
That's all right.
Let us know in the comments what you think of our FPL teams. Regina says Christ on a bike, which is something I can say as a reverend. I thought I had my team, but after listening and looking to your teams, I'm fecked for starters. Fecked, also good Father Ted reference. I appreciate that. But yeah, well, that's what we do. We hope that we can be helpful. Also, Mahmood, he says Saka and Bruno or Palmer and Wirtz. Ooh, that's a combo, isn't it?
Palmer and Wirtz.
Palmer and Wirtz.
Oh, I love Bruno, but Palmer
and
Wirtz.
Yeah, someone's dropped out.
You've got to go for Palmer. I think Palmer his ownership is too scary. Someone made a really great point, Mahmood, which is if you have a high-owned player and they do well, then great. If you have a high-owned player and they do badly, it's great. We all do badly together. But if there's a high-owned player and you don't have them and they do well, you can just wave your rank goodbye. That's the unfortunate side. Obviously, at some point you need to go against the template, but is the start of the season the way to do that? And then you're playing catch up forever and ever, amen. I don't think that's the move.
Yeah, I saw a similar piece of advice. Like, we're all starting the same. No one's chasing. Just don't fall too far behind yet. And then once things settles, that's when you can start going for differentials and try and get ahead of the template with those changes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's right. Well, one segment, or let's just say aspect of this game, you can certainly get ahead. That is the almighty Capitano de Corner, which is back for yet another season. Not sure if it is by popular demand, but it's just through individual command. However, so 3 usual options that are probably dominating the domain as we head into the opening night. We'll start with Marcello. For the majority who are backing the Egyptian arising, 9 goals and 7 assists in his last 8 opening day fixtures and against tomorrow night's opponents. Last time out, he scored a brace away from home, which was part of his memorable 29-point haul in double game week 24. Salah's numbers for chances created and big chances from last season is more than double than another candidate who I'm about to mention now in Ollie Watkins. Now, Watkins has found the net 5 times this preseason, which is the most of any forward. Against Newcastle in his last 3 home outings, 4 goals and 2 assists. Newcastle don't even have an Isaac of a clue on what they're doing this season to kick start proceedings. They're in a void for now. His goal threat at Villa Park. We know he may have said that Salah's double for him in chances. But big situations where he's expected to score. He's had 26 at Villa Park through the course of last season. Salah and Palmer combined 24. So worthy of a shout in the what's announced to be a Gandhi kickoff. Cole Palmer is the last one at home to Crystal Palace. Now he has returned in every league outing against the South Londoners who are going 2 cup highs before you even know it. And even Cello knows it off the back of his head. From his 3 games against him, a goal and 3 assists. In addition, the Chelsea star is top for both chances created and big chances created for anyone in the league with 51 and 14 respectively. Now that is all. No curveball. I just think it's best to avoid limiting the risk on your opening outing of game weeks, where the immeasurable disappointment is inevitable. Back to the studio we go with the beautiful spreadsheet enthusiasts and people who are just love a yarn. And tell you what, lads, for a game week 1, what a show. And guys, thank you so much for the comments.
And what a chat as well. What a chat as well. One of the best chats that we've ever had. Regina firing off and, making us feel appreciated. Miriam with all the positivity. Tenzin with the shout, man. Have you seen his second comment? Says Liverpool really paid 300 million for a community service, not the community shield. Damn, bro. Damn. Mao says Watkins and Tielemans or Rodgers and Mateta. Oof.
That's tricky.
That's tough. I like Watkins. I don't like Tielemans. I would definitely go with Watkins. I feel like Watkins is. I think I would personally change someone out instead of Tielemans, and I would go for like a baby reindeers or an Anderson over Tielemans, or even KDH from Everton. Would be my thinking there, and you can even upgrade somewhere else if you do that.
Exactly, same. Tielemans if Rodgers was out for a month, but he's not. He's going to be there.
Yeah, he will be there. .meme.jpg.
That's it. Right, I reckon it might be time to wrap it up.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Week,
cheers, chat.
Spot on the chat. Thank you for mentioning Worthy. And to you, Marcello. And to you, Reverend. And Reidy, but he's gone horse riding, I think.
Yeah.
Drop a like if you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe, guys.
Tell a friend.
Gone back to the old town road. All right.
How many likes? 3 likes. We had like 20 people in the chat.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, yeah. Colm said
2 of those likes are from my account.
Damn. Can't even get my own mother to like this. Genuinely. Yeah. But yeah, Colm says it. Good luck all. It's going to be the start of the season tomorrow. Just wishing absolutely everyone the best of luck. All of our fellow addicts. There's a reason why we love this game. We are addicted, not just because we love the game, but because we love our community as well. Like, you guys are the thing that makes this happen for us. We wouldn't be sat here having a really good time chatting about it if it wasn't for everyone here. So thank you so much. And if you do drop a like, then Marcello will get to not cry himself asleep again.
I'm going to DM all of you on Twitter until you like it.
Right, that is well said. If there's only one person I don't wish any luck in this world, that's Jack. because he's going to be eating shit for another season. Catch you later. Boom, boom, proud. Ciao, ciao.